From the CSI Softball Complex on the campus of the College of Staten Island, CSI Sportsnet presents exclusive CUNY Championship softball coverage. Today's first matchup features the Hawks of Hunter College taking on the Lightning of Lehman College. And good afternoon, everybody. This is Joe Foreman, joined by Mike Babruski, bringing you all the action live from behind home plate during today's game. And Mike, you were here yesterday at softball while Bobby and I covered baseball. What did you see from these two teams on day one of the CUNYAC Softball Championship?
Well, you know, Joe, it was a four-game day here at the CSI Softball Complex, and, you know, it got started off with Staten Island beating Baruch handily 8-0, and then we began to see the two teams that are playing today. In the second game, Hunter College already faced Lehman College and was able to defeat Lehman handily by a score of 9-1. It was a game that Lehman got the leadoff runner on, and that was the CUNYAC Player of the Year, Miranda Davis. She singled, stole two bases, came around to score, but that would be the end of the scoring for Lehman College in the game against Hunter yesterday. And Hunter was able to storm back and really win the game pretty handily. The final was 9-1. Nicole Gazzone picked up the win in that game and pitched just allowed 3 hits, so just allowed 2 hits after that leadoff single by Diaz, and they went on to victory. And then the consolation game that featured Lehman against Baruch College. Lehman was able to win that game handily by a final score of 8-1. And, you know, what we saw in that game, Joe, was that Miranda Diaz is really a high-quality player. She's the CUNYAC Player of the Year, as we mentioned. She's the shortstop. She batted over .460. She now has over 35 stolen bases on the year, and she's really a handful to deal with. And then, of course, the final game featured the College of Staten Island against Hunter College, and it was Allison Marr getting the start on the mound. And, you know, the Dolphins really played strong in that game, Joe. They scored 5 runs in the first inning, all 5 scoring after 2 players were out. And they really never looked back from there. They were able to add on a couple of runs at the end of the game and win by a final score of 8-0 in 6 innings as Allison Marr picked up her 11th win of the year. So, you know, it was really a good all-around day for the College of Staten Island. Hunter College now finds themselves having to play in the play-in game against Lehman College here this afternoon, and then the two teams we would see meeting in against Staten Island will depend on who wins game number 1. But Hunter's certainly going in as a strong favorite, and very interesting that Caroline Babula will get the start for the Hawks this afternoon.
Well, you mentioned that the Hunter College Hawks will enter this game as the favorite. You did mention the final score in the first game played yesterday between these two teams, 9-1 in favor of Hunter College. 10 hits in that game for the Hawks, so they certainly got it done at the plate. But we did mention as well, as you said, Mike, Lehman did have a much better showing against Baruch College, ending the season of the Bearcats. Lehman defeating the Bearcats by a score of 8-1 in that game. We also had action going on up the hill at baseball yesterday, so I'll recap that quickly as the Dolphins are involved in the CUNYAC Baseball Championship Final. In our first game of the day, the Lions of Finlandia University took on the Bearcats of Baruch College in a very entertaining game. Finlandia upsetting the Lightning of Lehman College on day 1 of the CUNYAC Baseball Tournament. That game played up at Purchase, and yesterday Finlandia pulls off yet another upset, defeating the preseason favorite Baruch College Bearcats in the game they played against Baruch. A good showing for Finlandia at the plate, a team that really struggled at the plate during the regular season. Bobby and I talked about it, only hitting .216 on the regular season as a team, but yesterday they got it done against Baruch College and advanced in the tournament, knocking out Baruch. And the Bearcats saw their season end yesterday in both baseball and softball, defeated by the Lions yesterday up at the baseball field where the Bearcats. So Finlandia winning that losers game, moving on to the final game of the day yesterday. That game would ultimately be played against the College of Staten Island, but in order to find themselves in that position, the College of Staten Island had to lose the second game of the day, and they did, to John Jay. And Mike, that game was a very entertaining game. The Dolphins got out in front in that one, 5-0, but that lead was not enough as John Jay answered with a 9 spot, I believe in the top of the 5th inning, and that followed up Glenn Glenister hitting a 3-run homer. Glenister's 3-run homer gave the Dolphins the 5-0 lead. Halfway to first base, he flipped the bat. I think the Bloodhounds took exception to that, and the next batter, Anthony Lozado, was hit with a pitch. Looked like a breaking ball, and Anthony DeMarco came about halfway between the dugout and the third baseline, shouting at the John Jay pitcher, Jared Hirschfield, but Hirschfield was promptly ejected by the home plate umpire. We didn't see that ejection take place. Bobby and I missed it, as I initially caught DeMarco coming out of the dugout and had my focus over there, but Hirschfield was ejected. DeMarco was reprimanded by the umpire. He remained in the game, but following that 5-0 lead for the Dolphins, John Jay really stormed back into the game and ultimately took the lead with a 9 spot in the 5th inning. They led that game 9-0, at one point led 14-5. So a 9-run lead for the Bloodhounds in that game, but the Dolphins would not go away. They cut the deficit to 3 entering the 9th inning. Our score entering the 9th was 14-3 in favor of John Jay. The Bloodhounds added a run in the top of the 9th, and CSI threatened in the bottom half of the 9th with 2 outs, but ultimately did not get the tying run to the plate and came up short against John Jay, falling in that game 15-11, and then a very back-and-forth game between the Lions of Finlandia University and the College of Staten Island. Dolphins fell behind in that game 6-0 in the 2nd inning, due in large part to a 3-run homer by Joey Krug of the Lions. Krug had a great day, just missed a home run earlier in the day, and on the nightcap, able to find space just inside the foul pole in the left field corner. So Krug's 3-run homer gave the Lions the 6-0 lead over the Dolphins, but CSI answered back with 3 in the bottom half of that inning. The 2nd inning, early in that game, the Lions led 6-0, and the Dolphins continued to chip away, got to within a run, ultimately tied the game and took the lead late, but not before falling behind once again. After tying the score at 6, the Lions responded with 2 runs of their own in the top half of the following half inning. Dolphins trailed 8-6, but from there it was really all CSI. CSI outscored the Lions, I believe it was 11-2 the rest of the way. Make that, CSI actually had 19 runs, so it was 13-3 the rest of the way as CSI won that game 19-11. The Lions did add a run in the bottom of the 9th inning, but really never threatened again after CSI put together a huge 8th inning, and CSI moves on to face John Jay. It will take a pair of victories for the College of Staten Island over John Jay to secure a CUNYAC baseball championship, but that's where we stand right now with men's baseball. And,
you know, Joe, the Dolphins finding a way to keep the door and keep the dream alive to come back and win the championship here at home. And, you know, they do need that extra win over the Bloodhounds, but I got to tell you, I really like their chances here this afternoon against John Jay.
And given what we saw yesterday, the Dolphins certainly are dialed in at the plate. Had a great day offensively yesterday, of course, scoring 19 runs in their win over Finlandia and 11 runs in their defeat at the hands of John Jay earlier in the day. So the Dolphins put 30 runs up on the scoreboard yesterday, but unfortunately for them, we'll need to pick up a pair of victories over the Bloodhounds to secure a CUNYAC championship today. But Bobby and I mentioned it. During the regular season, the Dolphins and Bloodhounds did meet, and CSI got the better of that matchup, winning both meetings against the Bloodhounds in the regular season. Both of those games decided by only a single run, so those two teams clearly are very evenly matched, and it should be an entertaining CUNYAC baseball championship.
Yeah, you know, it's been a great weekend, Joe. It started on Thursday with the first day of the baseball tournament, and, you know, Dolphins came out so strong and got that complete game victory, and, you know, they looked good against John Jay early, like you mentioned, but gave up that big 9-run inning. But, you know, again, they were able to find a way to win that game last night, and now that they've done that and have an opportunity to regroup and play today, although there's obviously a strain on the pitching, like I said, you got to give the Dolphins a really good chance here this afternoon.
Certainly do, especially given what we saw yesterday and throughout the season. The resilience of the men's baseball team is without question. As shifting our focus back to today's matchup between the Lightning and the Hawks, we did mention the previous matchup between these two teams yesterday, won by Hunter College. They also met twice in the regular season as well. Those games were played, I believe, at Hunter, and they were played at Hunter. As I take a look at Hunter's schedule, wasn't sure what team's schedule of games I was taking a look at, but this is Hunter's schedule, a home game, a pair of home games, doubleheader against Lehman College. Hawks won the first game quite easily, 15-2, but game 2 much closer, only a 1-run margin of victory for Hunter College in that game over Lehman. So I'll take a closer look at the box score from that one. In that game, Lehman College put together 6 runs on 13 hits, and Hunter just able to outdo them at the plate, scoring 7 on 11 base hits. So the Lightning actually out-hit the Hawks in that game, and easily the most success they've had at the plate against Hunter College this season. They'll be looking for more of that in today's game, and they will likely need it if they're going to come away with the victory.
Yeah, and for Lehman College here, it'll be Diamond Villegas on the mound again, and she pitched both games that Lehman played yesterday, including that 9-1 loss to Hunter College. And, for Lehman to be successful here today, they're going to need production out of their top of the lineup, especially from Miranda Diaz. They're going to need a very strong pitching performance from Diamond Villegas, who, as I just mentioned, Joe, pitched both games in the doubleheader yesterday afternoon. And Lehman is going to have to play almost a spotlessly clean game in the field. So it's going to be a big, challenging day here for Lehman College. And, for Hunter, they're trying to get back into the CUNYAC championship round once again and face the Dolphins. And, they would be facing the same situation that CSI is facing in baseball, Joe. And, that is they would have to defeat the Dolphins twice here this afternoon in order to win the CUNYAC championships. The Dolphins could win the championship with a win in game number 6 of the tournament here this afternoon to take place about 1:15.
You mentioned Diamond Villegas will be in the circle for the Lehman College Lightning. We actually saw her pitch earlier this year against the College of Staten Island, and if I recall that game correctly, she was really betrayed by her defense in that game. And as I look at the numbers, that certainly seems to be the case. Villegas only went 1 inning in that game, was the losing pitcher, but allowed 3 base hits and 3 runs. All of those runs were unearned, and it was really a rough first inning for Villegas, not of her own creation. However, her defense, as I mentioned, really not playing well behind her. 3 errors overall in the game for Lehman College, and I don't have the error tally from that first inning, but I do recall that game, and Villegas was pulled despite pitching pretty well in inning number 1, and I think she may have even gotten the start in game number 2 as well, which shouldn't be much of a surprise given that she did start both games yesterday, as you mentioned, for Lehman College. And I'm waiting for those numbers to load, and indeed, she did pitch game 2 as well against the College of Staten Island. That game did not go well. CSI put together 8 runs in the first 3 innings of that game. Lehman did put up a 3 spot at the top of the 3rd, but of course that was not enough. Dolphins went on to defeat the Lightning in that game by a final score of 11-3. Villegas went 4 2/3 in that game, went the distance for the Lightning, allowing 11 runs on 11 hits. Only 5 of those runs earned, so the Lightning defense once again not helping the cause of Diamond Villegas. She also walked 5 and struck out 3, throwing 96 pitches. So the Dolphins, if Lehman was to win this game, will likely see her again today, but Hunter, of course, is the favorite entering this matchup.
Yeah, and the problem is, we mentioned, Joe, Lehman College has committed 105 errors in 37 games, and, that makes it extremely difficult, to not make an error at a key time, and, sometimes that can just open the floodgates. Hunter College coming into today's game having just made 39 errors in 36 games, so you can see the difference in fielding between these two teams.
And playing good defensively is such a key to winning games, both in baseball and softball. We always talk about making the routine plays look routine, executing at the plate, sometimes playing some small ball, and Hunter College has done that thus far this season. Also, another big thing that I mentioned time and time again is the ability of the pitcher to throw strikes, whether it be on the mound in baseball or in the circle here at softball. These two teams will certainly rely on their pitchers to find the strikes and keep their pitch counts down and hopefully prolong themselves in these outings during tournament play. It's not easy to preserve the pitching depth necessary, especially in baseball, as we have seen pitchers, of course, go multiple games in one day. Here at softball, and sometimes pitching back-to-back days, more than one affair, and that looks like it will be the case for Diamond Villegas should Lehman advance. But over at baseball, the Dolphins are in a tough position where they don't really have much left in terms of pitching, and we'll see what they do here today. Once we have the starters for that game, we'll share them with you. I'll actually have the live stream of that game on my tablet while we cover softball, so I'll have constant updates from over at baseball as well. But we mentioned the Lightning visiting the Dolphins earlier this season. Games we covered. Dolphins played at Hunter College this season, and CSI defeated Hunter in game number 1 by a score of 6-2. Both teams with 11 hits in that game, but the Dolphins made the most of their 11 hits, scoring 6 runs as opposed to only 2 for the Hawks. Dolphins swept that doubleheader from Hunter College, winning the second game by a score of 7-2. So in that game for the College of Staten Island, once again getting it done. at the plate, 10 base hits and 7 runs. Hunter with only 2 runs on 6 hits in that game. So the Dolphins have to like their chances against either of these two teams, but whatever team it is that advances to face the College of Staten Island, they will need to win a pair.
Yeah, and Hunter College, Joe, coming in batting .341 as a team, and you compare that to Lehman College that's coming in batting just over .270 at .271. So I think we're getting ready here for the national anthem, so we'll step aside and we'll take a break here for just a minute, and we'll be right back.
Here at Tim Hortons, we know what mornings are all about. Bacon. Wake up to 6 strips of crispy bacon. Tim Hortons, we know what mornings are all about. Bacon. Wake up to 6 strips of crispy bacon on a toasted everything bagel. The new Bacon Everything Bagel Sandwich. Great quality at a great value. It's all...
Hi, may I please have an application? Thank you.
Skip the drama. Get your diploma.
Okay.
Take that first step towards a better future. Find free adult education classes at finishyourdiploma.org.
As an American, it's hard to hear that we have a serious hunger issue in our country. And as a parent, it's even harder to hear that 1 in 5 of our kids struggles with hunger, especially when billions of pounds of good food are wasted every year. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide billions of meals to families in need right in your community. Visit feedingamerica.org to support Feeding America in your local food bank. Together we can solve hunger. Together, we're Feeding America.
Thank you. You got a king?
Go fish!
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.
There's one thing you can never have sex without.
It's not something you buy.
Or something you take.
In fact, there's only one way to get it.
It has to be given to you, freely.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape. Consent.
If you don't get it, you don't get it.
It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Hi, may I please have an application? Thank you.
Skip the drama. Get your diploma.
Okay.
Take that first step towards a better future. Find free adult education.
And we are back from the CSI softball complex. Hunter College has taken the field, and with the starting lineup for the Lehman College Lightning, my broadcast partner, Mike Gabusky.
Thanks a lot, Joe. Leading off and playing shortstop will be the CUNYAC Player of the Year, Miranda Diaz. Batting second and pitching, Diamond Villegas. Batting third, the second baseman, Genesis Polino. Batting fourth, the first baseman, Tiffany Adams. Batting fifth and catching, Caitlin Vernon. Batting sixth and playing right field, Adrielina Gill. Batting seventh and playing third base, Samantha Torres. Batting eighth and playing center field will be Stephanie Cruz. Batting ninth and the designated player, Lisette Guerrero. And the left fielder and flex player will be Karen Rivera.
And we are set to get underway as CUNYAC Player of the Year, Miranda Diaz, will step into the batter's box.
Diaz just having a phenomenal year, Joe, batting .489, 36 of 38 in stolen bases.
As the first pitch of the game is hit right back to Babula on the mound, and her throw over to first in time for out number 1.
Joe, she scored leading off both games yesterday, and for the Hunter College to get her out on one pitch is a big play early in the game.
Diamond Villegas will be the batter. And the first pitch to Villegas from Babula is in for a called strike 1. have a break in the action, I have the numbers on the season for Caroline Bibula. And Villegas got a piece of that one and rolls to the backstop foul. And she's quickly in a 2-strike hole. Numbers for Caroline Bibula this season: a 4-5 record in 13 appearances and 9 starts. She's pitched to a 4.99 earned run average. As the 0-2 is fouled back once again. In 47 2/3 innings, Bibula's allowed 71 hits, 38 runs, 34 of those earned. She's walked 23, struck out 21. 208 opposing batters, hitting at .341 against her.
Yeah, she didn't pitch in the in either game for Hunter College yesterday, Joe.
1 ball and 2 strikes the count on Villegas. She pops one up on the infield. And play over at second is made by Ganeri for the second out.
Yeah, Ganeri also did not play in yesterday's either game yesterday. Starting at second base here this afternoon, the freshman gets a start for the Hawks in game number 5.
That will bring Genesis Paulino to the plate with 2 outs in the top half of the first, and she looks at ball 1.
Paulino batting .264 with a homer and 11 RBIs.
And the 1-0's on the inside corner for a called strike, evening the count at 1. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. And Paulino chases out of the strike zone, falls behind 1-2. Paulino pops one up on the infield once again, and making the easy play over at first is Abbolt for the final out of the inning. Lightning go down 1-2-3 in the top half of the first. No score heading into the bottom half of inning number 1 between the Lightning and the Hawks. We'll be right back with more CUNYAC Championship Softball.
You make me wear my bike helmet. Taught me never to run with scissors.
You tell me to stay away from drugs.
To always buckle my seatbelt. And to follow the swimming rules.
You're always looking out for me and trying to keep me safe.
So why do you keep a loaded gun in your drawer?
Here in the garage.
Closet. Shuttle box under the bed.
Where anyone can get to it.
How safe is that?
How safe is that?
How safe is that?
You asked them to follow some safety rules. Now they're asking you. In fact, they're counting on you. Never let your gun get into the wrong hands. If you own a firearm and are not using it, please be responsible and be sure that it's stored in a safe place. Remember, always lock it up. For more information on firearm storage safety, visit ncpc.org.
Here at Tim Hortons, we know what mornings are all about: bacon. Wake up to 6 strips of crispy bacon on a toasted everything bagel. The new Bacon Everything Bagel Sandwich. Great quality at a great value. It's all good at Tim Hortons.
And we're back from the CSI softball complex as Diamond Villegas takes her position in the circle for the Lehman College Lightning. And with the Hunter lineup that she will face, my broadcast partner, Mike Babusky.
Thanks a lot, Joe. Jamie Dorso will lead off and play shortstop. Alana Vesa will be the center fielder batting second. Carolyn Babula will be pitching batting third. Stephanie Abbolt at first base batting fourth.
As that one is in for a called strike 1.
Brittany Salvador will be at third base batting fifth. Samantha Malloy will be in left field batting sixth. Alicia Dovacek will be the designated player batting seventh. Annalise McClellan will be in right field batting eighth.
And Durso attempts to lay down a bunt. That ball rolls foul for strike 2.
And Gianna Riamandi will catch and bat ninth, Joe. She was the leadoff batter in both games for Hunter yesterday. The CUNYAC Rookie of the Year went hitless in both of those games.
Comes the 0-2 pitch, and Durso goes down, swinging good start in the circle for Villegas as she picks up her first strikeout.
Yeah, you know, you had to be really impressed with the effort of Villegas yesterday, Joe. She pitched both games of the doubleheader, picked up a win and a loss, and, you know, really went out there and pitched well both games for the Lightning.
And that will bring up Alana Veza as she grounds one toward the middle, and that initially backhanded by Paulino. Couldn't handle it cleanly, and that will go down as the first Lightning error of the game.
Yeah, you know, that was a tough play in the hole, Joe, so we'll have to see what the scoring is. But regardless of how it's scored, it's a play that, you know, really needs to be made. And, you know, this is where the Lightning struggle, because now instead of 2 out and no one on, you have the heart of a dangerous Hunter lineup coming up, 1 out, 1 on.
Well, you're right, Mike. They do indeed award the Hawks a hit, as I thought they had the play at first. She handles it cleanly, but like you said, hit toward the middle of the diamond. So it is a base hit for Alana Veza. And now Caroline Bibula comes to bat. Bibula, a left-handed batter. And the 0-1's fouled back.
Yeah, Joe, she's hitting .382 on the year, 21 of 55, 2 doubles, a triple, 2 homers. I'm sorry, she's 21 of 55, 4 doubles, a triple, and 16 RBIs.
Good numbers at the plate for Bibula entering today's action. We'll look to improve on those as that misses up and in for ball 1.
We'll have a chance, Joe. We'll get you Lehman defensively. Tiffany Adams at first, Genesis Polino at second, Miranda Diaz at short, Samantha Torres around at third.
Here comes the 1-2, and that's up high.
Karen Rivera in left, Stephanie Cruz in center, Adrielina Gill around in right, Caitlin Vernon behind the plate, and Diamond Villegas on the mound for Lehman College here this afternoon.
Count now even at 2 on Bibula. Here's the pitch, and that's fouled away and out of play. We mentioned during the pregame, Mike, Lehman has made their share of mistakes out in the field. That last ball, of course, ruled a hit. Not an easy play, but one that, of course, I thought should have been made. I was ready to credit an error there. Here comes the 2-2, and that's a half swing by Bibula. Did she go around? Yes, she did, and Diamond Villegas picks up her second strikeout.
Yeah, that's a good start here for Villegas. Let's see if she can get back into the dugout. First, she'll have to face the dangerous senior first baseman, Stephanie Bolt. Bolt leading the team in batting, 409 on the year, 38 of 93, 14 doubles, 2 homers, and 30 RBIs.
Now Bolt hits one hard on the ground through the middle for a base hit. The second Hawks hit of the inning, and they now have 2 runners on with 2 out.
Yeah, and Hunter scored 2 runs in the first inning of in the game against Lehman yesterday, trying to get on the board here with 2 outs.
And that will bring up Brittany Salvador. Chance to give her team an early lead with a base hit.
Yeah, she's batting .350 on the year, Joe. We mentioned Hunter with a .341 team batting average, so they're dangerous up and down the lineup.
And the first pitch to Salvador is in for a called strike 1, and Lehman paying close attention to the runners on the bases even after the pitch has been received by the catcher Caitlin Vernon, throwing behind the runner at first before, and Villegas took a look towards second there. Here's the 0-1. Chasing it upstairs was Salvador. She swings and misses for strike 2.
Yeah, Vernon has a great arm behind the plate, Joe, and she likes to use it. She was throwing behind runners all afternoon, and look for her to do a little more of it here today.
And the 0-2 pitch is swung on, and getting a piece was Salvador, but securing that ball in her glove was Caitlin Vernon for the final out of the inning. So Diamond Villegas strikes out the side in the first inning, working around a pair of base hits, and through the first inning here at the CSI Softball Complex, no score between the Hawks and Lightning. More CUNYAC Championship Softball when we come back.
Alvin and the Chipmunks want to remind you, bacteria can hide in food and make you ill.
Wow.
But you can keep bacteria from ruining your day with 4 simple steps. Clean.
I'm waiting for the rinse cycle.
Separate. Cook.
Fire in the hole!
And chill.
We chipmunks are notoriously tidy.
Check your steps. The road trip to food safety starts at foodsafety.gov.
So they say it's a man's world? I don't see anybody's name on it.
While they were doing their thing, we slowly tamed them.
Today, women can do anything men can do. And there's one thing we're even better at.
And we are back. As Tiffany Adams will lead things off for Lehman College. Hunter with a pair of base hits in their half of the first inning. Did not put a run up on the scoreboard as Adams pops one up in foul territory, and that's out of play.
Yeah, Adamas fouls that first pitch off, Joe, for a strike. She's down 0-1 in the count. Tiffany coming in batting just .205 on the year. 5 doubles, a homer, and 13 RBIs.
As the 1-1's in for a called strike, too. And it's always tough here without pronunciation guides, but I've been following whatever pronunciation CUNY goes with, and I heard the same thing you did, Mike, Adamas. So that's what we'll go with over at at baseball. Same issue yesterday. I had pronunciations from earlier in the season that I was going with, and CUNY had something else, as that's fouled straight back. Though I will say they didn't have all the pronunciations for our baseball team. So you just never know. You just never know. Count 1 ball and 2 strikes on Adamas. That's it on the ground over to third. Handled by Salvador. Her throw on target for the first out.
Yeah, good defensive play that time by Salvador, fielding it cleanly on the hop and getting it over to a Bolt at first base for the out. And this is one of the better hitters on this Lightning team, Joe, and Lightning are going to need production out of her, batting .311 with 2 homers, 17 RBIs.
We mentioned that the Lightning had 1 good game at the plate against Hunter College this season in 3 tries. The other 2 didn't go very well, didn't score more than a pair in either of those 2 games. The 1 game where it went well, they scored 3 as Vernon hits one sharply on the ground over to second, and Granari's throw over to first in time for the second out.
Yeah, so Granari plays the ball cleanly for the second time here this afternoon. And Hunter now has Babula retiring the first 5 she's faced.
2 away. And the batter is Angelina Gill, and she fouls one straight back. Some good-looking swings taken by the Lightning so far.
Yeah, Gill batting just .181 on the year, Joe. 15 of 83, 2 doubles, a triple, and 9 RBIs.
They're certainly not getting cheated up there at the plate as Gill now showing bunt. And she does lay one down. A good bunt down to third base. And the throw over to first just in time. Nice play over at third base by Brittany Salvador for the final out of the inning. Lightning once again go down 1-2-3. A very quick top half of the second. Heading into the bottom half of inning number 2. Still no score here on CUNYAC Championship Weekend.
One-on-One is an independently owned and operated physical therapy center since 1999.
One-on-One has multiple offices located in Staten Island and in Brooklyn.
One-on-One has been getting people back to living pain-free for almost 14 years.
The number 1 goal of One-on-One is to provide quality health care for our community and continue to strive to be the best in our field.
One-on-One physical therapy gets our clients back to work, back to play, and back to function as soon as possible. We help them reclaim their life.
Here at Tim Hortons, we know what mornings are all about. Bacon. Wake up to 6 strips of crispy bacon on a toasted everything bagel. The new Bacon Everything Bagel Sandwich. Great quality at a great value. It's all good at Tim Hortons.
And we are back from the CSI Softball Complex on this, the final day of the CUNYAC Softball Championship. One of these 2 teams will see their season come to an end following this game, and the other will move on to face the College of Staten Island, needing 2 victories to secure a CUNYAC championship.
Yeah, Joe, and Hunter got off to a good start in the first inning. 2 base runners, but that's all they could muster. Let's see what they do here in the second.
As Samantha Malloy will lead things off for the Hawks. She's quickly behind in the count 0-1.
Malloy, a .361 hitter on the year, 26 of 72 with 4 doubles and 11 RBIs.
She's quickly in a 2-strike hold. You mentioned, Mike, a good start for Hunter College at the plate, but Diamond Villegas in the circle also had a good first inning. Struck out the side. Maybe could have been out of it one batter sooner had it not been for ground ball hit toward the middle and the backhand play not made over at second, but that was ruled a hit as the 0-2 pitch is fouled straight back.
Yeah, she's coming out, and, you know, she's going right at the Hunter College hitters.
No balls and 2 strikes the count. That just misses, so now the count runs to 1-2. Certainly the coolest day of CUNYAC Championship weekend here at the CSI Softball Complex, as that swung on and missed for strike 3. So Villegas has punched out the first 4 Hawks she's retired in this game, and there's one away in the bottom of the second.
Yeah, she's coming out dealing, Joe, and, you know, you get into these one-and-done games and anything can happen, and, you know, you give Villegas confidence, and she's come out and gotten off to a good start here so far this afternoon.
Alicia Dovasak, the batter for Hunter College, with one away in the bottom of the second, and she takes down and in for ball 1.
Dovasak, a .289 hitter, 26 of 90 with 11 doubles, 2 home runs, and 28 RBIs.
This game brings us the debut of our center field camera here at softball. We've utilized it at baseball this year, the first time our center field camera has been used here at softball. It's positioned in left center over the CUNY Championships banner. Tough to see, Mike, isn't it? That's a check swing foul ball. Fortunately, I think that hit a tree. Count now, 2 balls and 1 strike.
Yeah, what a beautiful weekend it's been, Joe, though, for these CUNYAC championships. Thursday through today, just weather just fantastic.
Now this is outside for ball 3. It was very warm at baseball the last 2 days, and I have a sweater on out here right now. Probably don't need it, but I'll stick with it at least through this game, as it is an overcast Saturday morning. And that's in for a called strike, too. And with baseball getting off to a late start both yesterday and on Thursday, I'm so used to being out here later in the day. Got underway bright and early this morning. Here comes the payoff pitch. That's down and in for ball 4, so Villegas issues her first walk issued to Alicia Dovasak.
Yeah, so Hunter College gets another runner on, and Hunter, not really a team that likes to steal bases, Joe. They've only attempted 28 stolen bases on the year, just 22 of 28.
With a runner on first, Annalise McClellan lays down a bunt, and fortunately for the Hawks, that one came down foul as Vernon was ready to come up firing. I think she had an easy play at second, given that she makes a good throw, potentially a double play opportunity for the Lightning on that attempted bunt. We'll see if McClellan looks to lay one down again. She does not, and takes a called strike 2.
Yeah, Annalise batting .321 on the year, 27 of 84 with 4 doubles, 3 triples, and 18 runs batted in.
McClellan behind in the count 0-2. And she fouls back another one, as we've seen our share of foul balls early in this game. I have Diamond Villegas at 25 pitches entering this at-bat. Comes the 0-2, and that's ripped into left field, and unable to get there is Rivera. That will roll all the way to the wall. Holding at third base is Dovasak, and into second standing with a double is Annalise McClellan.
So McClellan picks up her 5th double of the year, Joe. That was a no doubt about it. Ripped into the left field corner, and Hunter College in business now with the CUNYAC Rookie of the Year, Gianna Riamondi, the batter.
So Riamondi bats at 2 in scoring position. And she swings and misses at the first pitch that she sees for strike 1. And
Raimondi, a .342 hitter, 27 of 79, 5 doubles, a triple, and 14 RBIs for the freshman.
Looked like she was trying to put that ball in left field as she's off balance on that swing and quickly in a 2-strike hole.
Yeah, and Villegas going right at her here, Joe. And the head quickly in the count, 0-2.
Here comes the 2-strike pitch, and Raimondi just got a piece and fouled it back.
Raimondi was 0 for 3 against Villegas in yesterday's game when these two teams met.
Here comes another 0-2 pitch. That's lofted out to second. And looking to double up the runner over there was Paulino, but forced to hold at third. More importantly, is Dovasak, and there are now 2 away.
Yeah, so Villegas now 1 out away, and she'll have to deal with Jamie Dorso, the shortstop, who was moved up to the leadoff spot in this game against Lehman College.
So a big spot here for Diamond Villegas and the Lightning, a chance to escape this inning without surrendering the game's first run, and that's swung on and missed by Dorso for strike 1.
Yeah, Jamie struck out in her first at-bat this afternoon on 3 pitches. So Villegas going at her with confidence.
And Dorso will have a word. I believe that's manager Ralph Maroney. It is, coaching third base.
Yeah, and I think he was telling her, you know, you swung at that pitch, it was up too high. Make her bring it down.
0-1 the count. Dorso struck out in her first at bat, and she fouls one straight back on 0-1 and quickly behind 0-2, in danger of striking out for a second time.
Big moment here early in the game. If the Lightning can get back into the dugout, which will give them a jolt of confidence here this afternoon.
Here comes the 0-2 pitch, and that misses up and away for ball 1. 3 hits in the game for Hunter College already. That number surpassed by 4 strikeouts for Diamond Villegas. She's looking for her 5th. 1-2 is the count. And that is swung on and missed. Villegas does indeed pick up strikeout number 5. Hunter threatens, but does not score, leaving 2 in scoring position as Dorso unhappy with herself following that punch out for Diamond Villegas. But we do remain scoreless through 2 innings of play here at the CSI Softball Complex. Top of the 3rd when we come back.
Don't worry, 74 people were picked before me in the NFL draft.
To fight childhood obesity, United Way and the NFL are helping kids play at least 60 minutes a day.
Okay, time for the team obstacle course. Yay!
What this place needs is more healthy kids. To get involved or donate, go to unitedway.org/play60.
Now I get it.
When I was 6, my days were spent playing basketball. When I was 6, my dream was to make it to the NBA. When I was 6, my mom had a stroke.
I'm Paul George, and I want you to spot a stroke fast.
F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911.
Protect the ones you love.
Spot a stroke fast.
And we're back from the CSI Softball Complex, top half of the 3rd about to get started. Lightning and Hawks scoreless through the first 2, though Hunter does have 3 base hits in this game. First pitch of the 3rd inning is popped up foul. And quite a few balls hit in that direction so far in this game. Samantha Torres is the batter, 3rd baseman for Lehman College.
Samantha batting .203 on the year, 16 hits and 79 at-bats, 5 doubles and 9 RBIs.
That's popped up over to second, and easy play over there for Granary. That's out number 1.
Yeah, but Babula continuing to pitch very well. She's retired all 7 Hawks she's faced, and really they haven't hit a ball that hard against her so far all afternoon, Joe.
Stephanie Cruz will step into the box, left-handed hitter. That draws the corner in over at 3rd, looks to lay down a bunt, and that's a good bunt toward the circle, but too strong as Babula quickly exits the circle and makes the throw over to 1st for the 2nd out.
Yeah, so Cruz likes to try to put the bunt down and beat it out. Another nice defensive play. And 2 up, 2 down quickly for the Lightning here in the third.
She needed to put that ball a bit closer to the first base line. Didn't force Babula to travel far enough in order to give herself a chance to reach first as Lisette Guerra looks at a called strike 1. Lightning still looking for their first base hit here in the third inning.
Yeah, the Lightning designated player just batting .160, 4 hits and 25 at-bats, 3 RBIs.
She is really choking up on that bat. Her hand's about 2/3 of the way up the handle. That's about as far as I've seen. Don't often get a good look at that, especially baseball, as that's in for a called strike. 1-2 the count. That's rolled over. That's the second baseman, Graneri, who was playing way in. She initially bobbles the ball but recovers to make the throw in time. And that retires Lisette Guerra for the third out of the inning. Once again, the Lightning go down in order and are still not in the hit column. Our score heading into the bottom half of the third, 0-0. Hunter looks to get on the scoreboard for the first time this morning when we come back.
Hi, may I please have an application? Thank you.
Skip the drama. Get your diploma.
Okay.
Take that first step towards a better future. Find free adult education classes at finishyourdiploma.org.
As an American, it's hard to hear that we have a serious hunger issue in our country. And as a parent, it's even harder to hear that 1 in 5 of our kids struggles with hunger, especially when billions of pounds of good food are wasted every year. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide billions of meals to families in need right in your community. Visit feedingamerica.org to support Feeding America in your local food bank. Together we can solve hunger. Together, we're Feeding America.
We are back here on CSI Sportsnet, and I want to take this opportunity to issue a shout-out. It may be our last chance to issue a shout-out to Jennifer Pizzuto this season, one of our loyal viewers throughout the entirety of the 2018 athletics season. That's spanning, of course, from back in September, beginning with soccer as the first pitch of the innings popped up, and Villegas comes out of the circle to make the catch and quickly retired for the first out as Alana Veza. But, of course, Jennifer, a loyal viewer to us throughout the entirety of the season. Of course, Dave Pizzuto's wife, so she is always deserving of a shout-out, and we'll get one from us here today.
Of course. Hi, Jen.
That will bring up Caroline Babula. And she swings at the first pitch and fouls it away.
Yeah, Villegas continuing to pitch well and try to keep the Lightning in the game. A big chance here. Hunter getting up there, heart of their lineup, 2, 3, and 4. She's retired the first out. Let's see what she could do here with Babula.
And the 0-1's down and away, evening the count at 1.
Villegas allowing 2 base runners in both innings. Very dangerous way to live.
That's popped up, shallow left field. Looks like it will come down in foul territory. It does, but ranging over to her right and making the catch is Miranda Diaz from shortstop.
Yeah, you know, Joe, we really haven't had much of an opportunity to see it, but Diaz made several really great plays in the 2 games yesterday for Lehman College, really showing herself to be a dynamic player in the field for the Lightning.
2 very accomplished shortstops in the CUNYAC conference. As we didn't see Diaz much. That's it well out to left center field, and ranging back to make the catch is Cruz. And another quick 1-2-3 inning in this game. The first time Hunter College has gone down in order, so we'll have to talk about our accomplished shortstop, Patricia Riches, when we come back, as we remain scoreless through the first 3 innings here at the CSI Softball Complex. Lightning come to bat in the top of the 4th when we return.
When I was 6, my days were spent playing basketball. When I was 6, my dream was to make it to the NBA. When I was 6, my mom had a stroke.
I'm Paul George, and I want you to spot a stroke fast.
F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911.
Protect the ones you love.
Spot a stroke fast.
One-on-One is an independently owned and operated physical therapy center since 1999.
One-on-One has multiple offices located in Staten Island and in Brooklyn.
One-on-One has been getting people.
And we're back from the CSI softball complex, and to the surprise of many, no score between the Hawks and the Lightning through the first three. Back to the top of the order for Lehman College with Miranda Diaz getting things started.
Yeah, Babula got Diaz out on one pitch on a bounce back to the mound in the first.
As Diaz lays down a bunt, looking to pick up her team's first hit, and she does just that as Diaz beats the throw to first, and Lehman College finally in the hit column.
Yeah, and, you know, she's got blazing speed, Joe. We already mentioned she's really a stolen base machine, and unlike the Dolphins and Hunter College, Lehman 100 for, 100 for 108 in stolen bases as a team. Diaz with 36 stolen bases in 38 attempts.
I'm not sure I've ever heard a stolen base percentage that high as Diaz does take off, and the throw right into the runner. And wow, I thought she was tagged on the helmet. That's a tough call.
It really was, and you could see how much Jamie Dorso wanted that call, and it sure looked like Diaz was sliding by, and that Dorso actually made a great play, Joe, being able to get that tag down, but the umpire saw it differently, and, you know, once those kind of calls are made, that's it, even though they are going to go have a talk about it. This would be interesting, Joe. This is a huge moment early in the game here in the fourth inning.
Mike, if there was ever a call that I could imagine being overturned, it's that one, because the tag I thought was clearly applied to the helmet. We'll see if the umpires saw it that way, or at least the other two. They're still conversing. Yep, the call is indeed overturned, and no argument from Diaz, no argument from Lehman College, as I don't think there was much doubt about that one.
Yeah, so Diaz is caught only for the third time all year long. It was a throw that actually was a bit off the bag, Joe, but it worked out perfectly for the Lightning because Dorso made such a great play on the ball and a great tag. So a huge moment here. Instead of Diaz on second with no outs, one out, nobody on.
Well, I thought initially that throw was going into center field as Gianna Raimondi threw into the runner, as you said, Mike, but making a nice stretch and tag over there. Second base for the Hawks, and nicely executed.
It was a great play by Dorso, Joe.
As that's hitting straight away center field, and moving to her left and making the catch is Alana Veza. A nice play out there in center field by Veza for the second out.
So Veza showing a little bit of leather right there for the Hawks. And, you know, Hunter has played a perfect game all afternoon, Joe, in the field. They haven't made any mistakes, haven't allowed any outs to get away from them. And Babula has faced the minimum of 11 batters thus far.
2 away in the Lightning half of the fourth inning as the first pitch skips in. Genesis Paulino, the batter.
She popped to first in the first, Joe. She's 0 for 1.
Here's the 1-0 pitch, and that's skied out to center. A much more routine play for Veza out in center, and she makes the catch for the third out. So a leadoff bunt single by Miranda Diaz, but she's promptly erased on the caught stealing, and through 3.5 innings, still no score from the CSI softball complex. We'll be right back with the bottom half of the fourth inning here on CUNYAC Championship Saturday.
Hi, may I please have an application? Thank you.
Skip the drama. Get your diploma.
Okay.
Take that first step towards a better future. Find free adult education classes at finishyourdiploma.org.
As an American, it's hard to hear that we have a serious hunger issue in our country. And as a parent, it's even harder to hear that 1 in 5 of our kids struggles with hunger, especially when billions of pounds of good food are wasted every year. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide billions of meals to families in need right in your community. Visit feedingamerica.org to support Feeding America and your local food bank. Together we can solve hunger. Together, we're Feeding America.
Thank you.
And we're back from the CSI softball complex. Still no score entering the bottom of the 4th. 4 hits between these two teams, 3 for the Hawks, 1 for the Lightning, and both teams still looking to get up in the runs column. So that's fouled straight back by Brittany Salvador.
Yeah, and Hunter College made 2 excellent defensive plays in the field. First, Jamie Dorso made a great tag on Miranda Diaz trying to steal, and then a nice catch in center field by Alana Veza gets the Lightning down.
As that's it out to center, shallow, and coming in to make the catch is Cruz for the first out.
Yeah, Lehman continuing to build up confidence, Joe, as they are able to get deeper and deeper in this game and keep Hunter College off the scoreboard. And, you know, as long as Villegas can keep putting those zeros up, of course, Lehman staying right in the game.
As that's fouled straight back for the first strike on Samantha Malloy.
Yeah, Malloy struck out in the second, Joe, so she's 0 for 1. And, you know, Lehman College coming out here playing very well, as is Hunter, what you'd expect in the first game of Championship Saturday.
And the 0-1 pitch misses away, evening the count at 1. I'm sure both teams would have liked to get off to a better start offensively. That hasn't happened, but they have to be happy with their work in the circle thus far. As the 1-1 is swung on and missed by Malloy for strike 2.
Yeah, Villegas coming out and, you know, pitching even better than she did yesterday in the game against Hunter. And, you know, that was really her first game of the afternoon, but
that's it well out to right field. Moving back on it and making the catch is Angelina Gill for the second out. She got spun around by that ball, and I kept a close eye on that play, Mike.
Yeah, but, you know, Hunter now has hit a couple of balls deep to the outfield in the last couple of at-bats. And, you know, a nice play by Cruz, and now Gill makes the catch. And, you know, now Lehman 1 out away from getting back into the dugout.
Fisha Dovasak steps into the box, the designated player for Hunter College, and she takes outside for ball 1.
She walked on a 3-2 pitch, Joe, in the second inning with 1 out and was stranded on third after the McClellan double.
That walk, the only walk issued by Diamond Villegas in this game. She's behind in the count on Dovasak, 1-0 here. And Dovasak skies one foul and out of play.
And, you know, Villegas doing a really nice job, Joe. She's not wasting any time. She gets right on the rubber, and she's ready to throw the ball, and she's going aggressively at the strike zone. She's not trying to nibble around. She's letting Hunter hit it and counting on her fielders to make the plays.
Now, if you can't trust yourself to attack the strike zone at this point in the season, it's going to be very difficult to win games. You don't often get hitters on the final day of the CUNYAC Championship chasing bad pitches. Otherwise, they wouldn't be here. So Villegas behind in the count, 2-1. Hasn't been behind much in this game. Of course, she did issue the walk to Dovasak, who's demonstrated good patience at the plate thus far. Might get something to hit here with the bases empty and a 2-1 count. Takes a big cut, fouls it back.
Yeah, just got under that one a little bit, Joe. Fouled it straight back. But now Villegas even in the count at 2-2.
2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs in the bottom half of the 4th. Still no score. Here's the 2-2. That is on the outside corner for strike 3 called. Punch out number 6 for Diamond Villegas, and we are through 4 innings. Still no score from the CSI softball complex between the Hawks and the Lightning. More CUNYAC Championship softball when we come back.
Here at Tim Hortons, we know what mornings are all about. Bacon. Wake up to 6 strips of crispy bacon on a toasted everything bagel. The new Bacon Everything Bagel Sandwich. Great quality at a great value. It's all good at Tim Hortons.
One-on-One is an independently owned and operated physical therapy center since 1999.
One-on-One has multiple offices located in Staten Island and in Brooklyn.
One-on-One has been getting people back to living pain-free for almost 14 years.
The number one goal of One-on-One is to provide quality health care for our community and continue to strive to be the best in our field.
One-on-One physical therapy gets our clients back to work, back to play, and back to function as soon as possible. We help them reclaim their life.
No score entering the top of the 5th inning from the CSI softball complex between the Lightning and the Hawks. Lightning will come to the plate in the top half of the 5th inning.
Yeah, both teams coming out, both teams season on the line, tied heading into the 5th.
Tiffany Adamas swings and misses at the first pitch of the 5th inning for strike 1.
Yeah, that time she chased that high pitch, Joe. Always looks good coming in. Very difficult to hit with any kind of authority.
And that's in for a called strike 2.
Nice pitch that time by Carolyn. First she busted up high and then comes back with that slower pitch inside to quickly get ahead 0-2.
Here comes the 0-2 pitch, and that's hit right back to Bibula in the circle. And a short arm toss over to first in time for out number 1.
Now batting third catcher, number 10, Caitlin Vernon.
Vernon, a very dangerous batter, Joe, for the Lightning.
And she takes a called strike 1 on the inside corner. I would say she's 0 for 1 at the plate, but everyone in this Lightning lineup is hitless with the exception of Miranda Diaz. That's lofted into shallow right field, and I think I might have jinxed it as that's off the glove of the right fielder McClellan. It gets away. Turning second and heading for third is Vernon, and I thought she was being waved home for a moment as we don't have a good sight line into that right field corner. Did you see what happened, Mike?
Yeah, you know, the ball just went in toward the right field line, and it was a diving attempt that time by Hunter in right field, but the ball went off of her glove and bounced toward the sidelines, and Vernon was able to take off and headed to third base and make it there. So she's on third base with just 1 out, Joe, and don't think I have to say when you're in the 5th inning of a championship game what a huge play that is and what a huge decision it was to attempt to dive for the ball in right field that time by Annalise McClellan. And when she didn't make the play, all of a sudden Caitlin Vernon is standing on third base.
Well, I saw that ball as far as it hit off the glove of McClellan in right field. Once it got away, I didn't have a sight line on what was going on, but Caitlin Vernon was a pretty good indication. That ball had really gotten a good distance away as there is action in the Hunter bullpen. The bullpen located directly next to the dugout, so I can see someone tossing lightly, working her way back to the rubber in that bullpen. And now coming to the plate is Angelina Gill. She's showing bunt. Corners way in for the Hawks. And Gill pulls the bunt back and looks at ball 1.
And now, Joe, that the pitch comes in, I got to say, I wasn't sure that Vernon touched first base on the way by. She kind of like stumbled over it, and I wasn't sure if she touched it or not, but apparently Hunter didn't see anything.
And if it proves to be consequential, I'll take a look at the replay during the break. And she also has to be very careful over at third base. If she comes too far down the line, Durso will move in behind her, and she could get picked off. So Vernon certainly has to be aware of what's going on. And one more thought on that last play. I'm not sure if I'm diving for that ball. If I'm McClellan, that is a risky play, especially with the Lightning struggling at the plate in this game. And by diving, she allowed Vernon to take 2 extra bases, and that's fouled back. So Angelina Gill now behind in the count 1-2. 1 away, so this upcoming pitch is huge.
Yeah, big moment in the game here. And, you know, Joe, once you get past Vernon in the order, it's been a little bit of a struggle hitting for Lehman College.
1 ball and 2 strikes the count. And that's rolled to third. And the throw comes to the plate, not in time. And Caitlin Vernon slides in with the first run of the game. Lehman College jumps out to a 1-0 lead in the top of the 5th inning.
What a huge play that time by Caitlin Vernon, making the decision to come home. The right decision, of course, with 1 out and able to come in and beat the throw. And she did beat it, Joe.
She did.
And the Lightning now with a big 1-0 lead.
That's a tough decision over at third base for Brittany Salvador. Definitely not a sure thing at the plate, as making a break from first and then turning back was Gill.
I think they may have scored that a base hit, Joe.
Looks that way. That would be number 3 for Lehman College. It was hit slowly, but with the corners in, I think they had the play first. So we have a break in the action for just a moment. See if I can go back and get a look.
Yeah, so Lehman College breaks up on top with a big run, Joe. And, you know, the thing about softball is the 5th inning is getting late. And, boy, what an opportunity here for the Lightning.
As that's fouled straight back, and quickly behind 0-2 is Samantha Torres. I don't want to hop onto the Wi-Fi and interfere with our broadcast, which I hear is going very well right now, so I won't get a look at that until later. Comes the 0-2 pitch, again rolled slowly to third, and Salvador fields it in foul territory.
You know, Joe, you got to go all the way back to 2003, the last time that that Lehman College was the runner-up in the CUNYAC tournament, and you got to go back to 1983 since the last time they won the CUNYAC conference.
And that's lined into shallow right field, and it falls foul.
What time?
And that 0-2 pitch misses for ball 1. As we had to step aside for just a moment.
Chicken.
Well, all of our viewers now know Mike's preference, as the 1-2 pitch misses away for ball 2.
Boy, what a big run in the game here, Joe. Lehman College able to take advantage of a dive and get to third base and then come home on the base hit and looking for more.
This would be a big upset if Lehman could close this game out. And laying down the bunt is Torres. Throw to first just in time. Taking the turn at second was Gill. She dives back in safely.
And that was a really close play at first base, Joe, but they did just get Torres by half a step for the second out.
That will bring up the number 8 place hitter, Stephanie Cruz. Lehman's fired up. You see the coaches in each coaching box in the dugout now making some noise. Runner in scoring position with 2 outs for Cruz. She's 0 for 1. Third base and second base in, and I saw that earlier in the game out in the field.
Yeah, she likes to try to bunt a lot, Joe. She tried to bunt our way on in the 3rd inning. It was out, so she's 0 for 1 here this afternoon.
Well, rather than playing with the corners in as wind picks up, blowing dust right into my face, but rather than playing the corners in, the Hawks have been playing third base and second base in, with first baseman staying over near the bag to cover. As looking to slap that ball to the left side was Cruz, and she comes up empty for strike 2.
Yeah, she falls behind quickly, 0-2, and looking ahead for Hunter College, it's 8-9-1 in the bottom of the 5th. McClellan, Riamandi, and Dorso as Hunter finds themselves down 1-0.
And the 2-strike pitch is poked right back toward the circle. Bibula makes the play, and that is the 3rd out of the inning. But Lehman College puts the first run of the game up on the scoreboard in the top half of the 5th. They lead Hunter by a score of 1-0. Hawks will look to answer that lone run when we come back.
They'll test you. Try to break your will. But however loud the loudness gets, however many cheese puffs may fly, you're the driver, the one in control. Stand firm. Just wait. And move only when you hear the click that says they're buckled in for the drive. Never give up till they buckle up. They'll test you.
Here at Tim Hortons, we know what mornings are all about. Bacon. Wake up to 6 strips of crispy bacon on a toasted everything bagel. The new Bacon Everything Bagel Sandwich. Great quality at a great value. It's all good at Tim Hortons.
No one ever won a race because it was their turn. And guzzling the right sports drink never won all 3 sets. You can't talk your way through a tournament, and luck doesn't last. Real champions know that it takes more to do more, because wanting it just isn't good enough. You've got to be smarter, faster, tougher. After all, if championships were easy, everybody would have one. City University of New York Athletic Conference. Learn, play, succeed.
And Hunter College now officially on upset alert as Lehman College has taken a 1-0 lead in the 5th inning. We're late in this game, and Mike, if I remember back, I think it was 2 years ago you and I covered the second to last game in the CUNYAC softball tournament. Hunter got a scare. I believe it was from Baruch as well that year. So Hunter in familiar territory as that's fouled back. And quickly in an 0-2 hole is Annalise McClellan.
Yeah, and you know, this is a fairly young Hunter College team, Joe. Just one senior on the roster. That's Stephanie Bolt, just a couple of juniors. So, you know that they're feeling a little bit of pressure here, Joe. Down 1-0, and now McClellan tries to bunt with 2 strikes and goes down on strike. So interesting decision that time by McClellan, but 7 strikeouts now for Lehman College.
And if Diamond Villegas is able to go the distance in this game and complete the shutout, she's now 7 outs away from doing that. That would be a tremendous CUNYAC postseason effort, as the first pitch is popped up in the air by Raimondi, and she is quickly retired for out number 2. So after the Lightning get up on the scoreboard, Hunter College in danger of going down 1-2-3 very quickly.
Yeah, Villegas has just thrown 4 pitches so far here, Joe, and she's back to the top of the lineup. And Jamie Dorso, who she's already struck out twice. So, Lehman continuing to gain confidence in this game.
As that's popped up by Jamie Durso in foul territory for strike 1. Durso with a pair of strikeouts and 2 at-bats in this game.
Of course, the outs get harder and harder, Joe, as you head later and later into the game.
Here's the 0-1, and that's ripped, but right into the glove of Genesis Paulino over at second base. And another quick 1-2-3 inning. Lightning set the Hawks down in order, and Lehman College will look to add to a 1-0 lead when we come back for the top of the 6th inning from the CSI softball.
Listen now, can you hear the bluebirds? Oh, look up now, can you feel the sun? Can you feel the sun?
Here at Tim Hortons, we know what mornings are all about. Bacon. Wake up to 6 strips of crispy bacon on a toasted everything bagel. The new Bacon Everything Bagel Sandwich. Great quality at a great value. It's all good at Tim Hortons.
And we're back from the CSI softball complex, as I think we do indeed have a pinch hitter. It will be Haley Davila pinch hitting for Lehman College.
Yeah, Davila, 214 batter on the year, Joe. 9 of 42, 5 doubles, and 8 RBIs, as Lehman is within 2 innings of a monumental upset here of Hunter College at the CSI softball complex.
Lehman 0 for 3 against Hunter this year. Looking to win the most important matchup between these two teams and make it 1 for 4, but it would be a big victory as the 1-0 pitch is fouled back.
And, you know, when Lehman's needed a play, they've gotten it. The line out, the flyouts deep into the outfield, and Villegas is just pitching really a phenomenal game. And Lehman now looking to get started here in their half of the sixth.
Once again, that pitch fouled straight back. The count 1 ball and 2 strikes. The pressure certainly mounting on Hunter College. And again, you said it, Mike, it would be a big upset as Hunter has defeated Lehman in all 3 previous meetings. Dolphins have their way with both of these teams this season as the 1-2 pitch misses just high.
That was a nice pitch that time by Babula, just missed, and that evens the count up now.
Count 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2-2 on the way, and that's fouled back into the backstop once again. Davila staying alive.
Yeah, you know, she went with the slow one and then tried to put the fast one right by her. Nice bit of hitting there by Davila to stay alive.
Here comes another 2-2 pitch. And again, it's fouled back. Well, they're certainly making Caroline Babula work in the circle in this game as Lightning have done a good job fighting off some tough pitches.
Yeah, what a phenomenal game here. Game number 5 of the CUNYAC Championships. These two teams going at it.
And finally, Babula sets down Davila, swinging for the first out. Is nice battle there between the two, but Babula comes away winning that one as that will bring us back to the top of the order for the Lightning. Miranda Diaz is the batter.
Yeah, and that's the first strikeout for Babula. Now Diaz, the batter. She singled and was caught stealing in the 4th and grounded back to the mound. She's 1 for 2.
And the first pitch to Diaz. This is up and away for ball 1. Diaz, as you mentioned, with a bunt single in this game, was then cut down, stealing second on a play where she was initially ruled safe.
Yeah, the numbers for Diaz, phenomenal. 489 heading into the game, 41 runs scored, 45 hits and 92 at-bats, 10 doubles, 5 triples, 6 home runs, 28 RBIs, a .530 on-base percentage, and now 36 of 39 in stolen bases.
And those are certainly some impressive numbers as the 2-0 pitch is fouled back, and she's got a pitch to hit there.
And, you know, Lehman is looking for more, looking to see if they can get Diaz on it with 1 out and see if she could cause a little chaos with the Hunter defense.
Count on Diaz, 2 balls and 1 strike after that foul ball. And she swings and misses at the 2-1 pitch, evening the count at 2. Hunter still respecting the bunt up until that last pitch, and it looks like Brittany Salvador will stay at least part of the way in.
Looking ahead, Joe, into the bottom of the 6th, the heart of the Hawk lineup, 2, 3, and 4, Vesa, Babula, and a Bolt. Waiting for Villegas. You know she would love to get an insurance run here.
That's popped up and over our heads foul. Well, Mike, if Villegas can get through the next inning unscathed, you have to like the chances for Lehman College entering the final inning, especially if they add another run. But this Hunter team, again, as I mentioned, the last time I covered them in this championship tournament, or at least when I did cover them 2 years ago, they were given a scare. That's it well out to left field. This ball has a chance. Ranging back and looking up is Malloy, and that ball is gone. A solo home run for Miranda Diaz, and there's that insurance run, Mike, as Diaz trots home to be greeted by her Lightning teammates. She has given Lehman College a 2-0 lead in the top half of the 6th inning.
Yeah, you know, Joe, we were just talking about what a phenomenal player she was and going over her numbers, and that time she didn't try to bunt it. She drilled it way over the left field wall for her 7th home run of the year, and just like that, the Lightning get a huge insurance run and lead 2-0.
Malloy initially thought she might have a chance at that ball off the bat. It certainly sounded like a home run, and it indeed was. But Malloy gave it a look, and that ball over the wall and straight away left field just to the right of the American flag. And Diamond Villegas, the batter for the Lightning, has been given a 2-run lead, and now Lehman College draws closer to a victory in this game with that second run. And I don't think many people here saw this coming, as I mentioned before.
Still a long way to go, Joe. 6 outs is an eternity in softball.
I think the lead that, well, I should say the lead over Hunter in the game that I was referring to before a couple of years back was 2 runs, and they were able to get out in front. I think it was a 2-run homer late in that game. Now Hunter will have to come back, as that's hit well out to center field. This one has a chance, and that ball is gone into the parking lot over the center field wall. Diamond Villegas with a solo home run. Lightning now lead 3-0 as Lehman College is on the verge of shocking Hunter in this CUNYAC tournament. Back-to-back home runs by Diaz and Villegas. And Mike, things are getting a lot more interesting with each passing batter.
Well, Diamond Villegas didn't like falling behind in the team lead for home runs when Diaz picked up her 7th. So what did she do? She came right back and hit the 7th home run for herself, as she has 7 home runs as well. And what a huge blow that time. Back-to-back blows. Diaz and Villegas drilled that ball deep over the right center field wall. And now Lehman College finds themselves up by 3, still with a runner with no one on and 1 out, and we're going to have a pitching change being made. And, you know, Joe, we didn't really spend much time talking about it, but it was an interesting decision here today by Hunter College. They went with Nicole Guzone and Lena Donahue on the mound yesterday. Donahue started that game against the Dolphins, and then Guzone came in. Carol Babula gets the start here today, and to be fair, Joe, she pitched extremely well. She carried really a shutout through 4 innings before Lehman was able to scratch out a run, taking advantage of some tight plays in the field. But now Miranda Diaz and Diamond Villegas with 2 huge blows, and all of a sudden Lehman College has a 3-0 lead. And you know, it'll be interesting to see how the Lightning play it from here with the realization that they're 6 outs away from getting into their first CUNYAC championship in over a decade.
Well, the Hawks run upset alert after that first Lehman College run, followed up by a 1-2-3 inning, but now things have become much more dire for the Hawks. They trail by 3 in the top half of the 6th, and you mentioned it, 4 good innings from Caroline Babula, really 5, is that diving attempt out in right field, which saw the ball ricochet away. That was McClellan out in right field trying to catch that ball. It skipped away down to the corner. That was a 2-base miscue, not an error, of course, but Vernon ultimately came in to score the game's first run, and now Miranda Diaz and Diamond Villegas with back-to-back home runs. And that was some shot by Villegas over the right center field wall. That was a no-doubter as well. And 2 big blows have extended the Lehman College lead to 3. The number 3 hitter, Genesis Paulino, at the plate, behind in the count 0-2. And the new pitcher is indeed Guzone, as you mentioned, Mike. And I do have Nicole's line on the season. In 19 appearances and 13 starts, she's pitched to a 7-5 record and a 4.5 earned run average. As she skips the 1-2 pitch in, evening the count at 2. But a lot of pitchers on this Hunter staff right there with around between a 4 and a 5 earned run average. They really could have gone with any one of 4 arms in these games, and it's Guzone who gets the call in relief of Babula. And that's hit hard into right field, and playing it on one hop and throwing to first in time is McClellan for the 9-3 putout. And it looks like Paulino is in disbelief, as looked like she was out at first, Mike.
It was a really close play. I know that Lehman College didn't think she was out at first base, and you know, maybe that's something that Hunter could try to grasp. It's been all Lehman here in the top half of the 6th. Maybe they could ride that nice defensive play and get back into the dugout.
And that's hit well once again to right center, and that will one-hop the wall as Tiffany Adamas takes the turn for second. She is in standing with a 2-out double. And Mike, Lehman College is smoking the ball here in the top half of the 6th. They've hit 4 rockets, 2 over the wall, 1 to straightaway right, which allowed for the 9-3 putout, and then that one into right center, all the way to the wall. And Adames stands at second with a 2-out double.
Yeah, and I don't think Nicole Gazzone would have thought for a minute that that she would be pitching in this game against Lehman College here this afternoon, but instead she's forced to come into the action, and the very dangerous Caitlin Vernon up, Joe. She tripled and scored.
That's popped up on the infield. An easy play over at second for Granary. Gets the Hawks out of the top half of the sixth, but not before a pair of solo home runs and 3 base hits in the inning propel the Lightning to a 3-0 lead. Hunter College comes up in the bottom of the sixth, trailing by 3 runs, 6 outs away from seeing their season come to an end.
You make me wear my bike helmet. Taught me never to run with scissors.
You tell me to stay away from drugs.
To always buckle my seatbelt. And to follow the swimming rules.
You're always looking out for me and trying to keep me safe.
So why do you keep a loaded gun in your drawer?
Here in the garage.
Closet. Shoebox. Under the bed.
Where anyone can get to it.
How safe is that?
How safe is that?
How safe is that?
You asked them to follow some safety rules. Now they're asking you. In fact, they're counting on you. Never let your gun get into the wrong hands. If you own a firearm and are not using it, please be responsible and be sure that it's stored in a safe place. Remember, always lock it up. For more information on firearm storage safety, visit ncpc.org.
Here at Tim Hortons, we know what mornings are all about. Bacon. Wake up to 6 strips of crispy bacon on a toasted everything bagel. The new Bacon Everything Bagel Sandwich. Great quality at a great value. It's all good at Tim Hortons.
We hope my microphone was down around the mouth as we were enjoying our sandwiches brought to us during the previous half inning. So it will be Alana Veza leading things off for Hunter College, and time running out on the Hawks in this game.
Veza has one of the 3 Hunter hits, Joe. She singled in the first.
Well, upon review on the replay, the runner is safe over at first base in the last inning, according to Dave Pizzuto. So Lehman definitely had a good reason to be upset, as that's down and in, and the count runs to 2-1.
Yeah, it looked like a close play, Joe, but it looked like she did get in there. But nonetheless, the important thing for Hunter here, or for Lehman, is to get the first out. Hunter, of course, trying to get the leadoff runner on.
2 balls and 1 strike the count, and that's in for a called strike 2. You said it before, Mike. 2, 3, and 4 due up in this inning for the Hawks, and now it's even more urgent. They need to get something going.
Yeah, and, you know, Lehman has been building confidence all game long, Joe.
Here comes the 3-0 pitch. That's popped up. Foul territory behind the plate, and Vernon makes the catch for the first out.
Yeah, and that was in foul territory, Joe. So the dangerous Veza fouls out to Vernon for the first out, and that's going to bring up Nicole Gazzone, who's going to, she replaces Babula on the mound. Babula was 0 for 2, Joe.
Diamond Villegas hasn't given up much. Only 3 hits in this game. Lightning have now out-hit the Hawks 6-3 and outscored them, of course, 3-0.
Gazzone just a 176 batter on the year, Joe.
And this just looks to be the day for Lehman College, as a great diving catch is made in center field by Stephanie Cruz on the ball hit by Gazzone, and a tremendous play. And Mike, this is really shaping up to look like Lehman's morning.
Yeah, you know, Joe, sometimes you come out, you start to make the plays, you build up confidence as the game goes along, and, you know, again, a very confident play that time by Stephanie Cruz, diving and making the catch.
Now at about 12:15, we're in the afternoon hours, as the batter will be Stephanie Abolt.
Still 1 batter to go here for the Hawks in the bottom of the 6th.
Bolt ahead in the count, 1-0, and that swung on and missed. She got a piece of it, but Vernon able to make the catch.
She did, Joe, but she also probably chased ball 2 on the high fastball.
You're absolutely right about that. Here comes the 1-1 pitch, and that's upstairs, and this time a bolt does not offer at it.
Yeah, Lehman with a couple of nice defensive plays here in the field. The biggest number, the 0 next to the error column for a Lightning team that came in with over 100 errors this year.
That's a remarkable number as well. We mentioned the stolen bases earlier as that's fouled back. I wonder how many teams can say they had 100 stolen bases and 100 errors in the same season. Those are two large numbers, and I'm not sure I've ever heard such a thing.
Yeah, those are unusual numbers, that's for sure.
Certainly a hefty total in those two categories. Here comes the 2-2 pitch, and that's up and away for ball 3, and you certainly don't want to issue a free pass here if you're Villegas.
Yeah, she's done a great job, Joe. Just one walk all afternoon long. Let a bolt hit her way on. The way the Lightning have been playing defense in this game, you got to have confidence in it.
There's the payoff pitch, and that's down and in for ball 4, so the Hawks need base runners. They get one here, but the tying run still remains in the on-deck circle, as it will be Brittany Salvador coming to the plate.
Yeah, but a base on balls, Joe, we've seen how many times those could jumpstart an inning even with 2 outs, and the dangerous Brittany Salvador, the batter.
Salvador does have a hit in 2 at-bats in this game. Hawks need one more base runner to get the tying run to the plate. I'll make that 0 for 2 for Salvador, as I have the numbers for Stephanie Abolt in front of me. Salvador 0 for 2 at the plate. Looking to reach for the first time. She's ahead in the count 1-0. That's tapped right back toward the circle. And the underhand toss comes out of the glove of the first baseman, Adames, and going first to third on the play was a bolt. There's the first error of the game, Mike, and that puts runners on the corners with 2 outs. And just after I made the declaration that this appears to be a day for Lehman College that they may remember, a play like that happens, and that's a play to forget.
Yeah, you know, Joe, the outs get tougher and tougher as the game goes along. Lehman is still in pretty good shape. They have Samantha Malloy coming to bat with 2 on and 2 out. So the Lightning's still in a good position here. They just have to calm down. And, you know, Villegas, it looked like she could have just run over to the bag, Joe. Instead, you know, sometimes when players get in these tight situations, they make a play they wouldn't ordinarily make. And Villegas did it that time, trying to underhand the ball. It went a little bit high, and it couldn't be handled by the first baseman, Adames. And the Lightning pick up their first error of the game. And, you know, we mentioned how important it was that they didn't commit errors here. Let's see if the Lightning could take advantage of something that could have just saved their season.
Well, the tying run comes to bat now, and as you said, Mike, it is Samantha Malloy at the plate for Hunter College. Runners on the corners, 2 outs. And the first pitch to Malloy misses low for ball 1.
She's 0 for 2. She struck out and flew to right field, deep to right field in the 4th.
And you just echoed a thought of mine, Mike, saying that Villegas certainly could have taken that to first base herself, but that's a routine underhanded toss, and she airmailed it. Here comes the 1-0. That's in for a called strike on the outside corner, evening the count at 1.
Nice 1-0 pitch that time. It looked like Malloy was taking.
Hunter dugout remains fully engaged in this game. They've been loud in this half inning. Certainly not giving away at-bats as that's through Vernon and to the backstop. Underhanded toss to the plate, offline. Not sure they had any chance of cutting down a bolt at the plate. Advancing to second from over at first base is Brittany Salvador. Runner in scoring position now, 2 outs, and the count 2 balls and 1 strike on Samantha Malloy.
Boy, what a huge play already, Joe. At a minimum, Hunter edges themselves 1 run closer, and all of a sudden, some of those things that have plagued Lehman all year long coming into play. 2-out error, wild pitch, pass ball, whatever you want to call it. Another run scores, and now Hunter a single away from being 1 run down.
Here comes the 2-1 pitch. That's fouled back, so Villegas 1 strike away from escaping some danger in this inning. The tying run at the plate is Samantha Malloy. Count even at 2. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. And that's a sharply on the ground over to short. Backhanded by Diaz. Strong throw to first in time as Adames keeps her foot on the bag for the final out of the inning. A good play there on the backhand by Diaz and a strong throw to first. And we mentioned how costly errors can be, but great defensive play also coming up big for the Lightning in that inning as the bottom half of the 6th comes to a close. Our score, Lightning 3, Hawks 1, entering the final inning of play from the CSI Softball Complex here on CUNYAC Championship Weekend.
One-on-One is an independently owned and operated physical therapy center since 1999.
One-on-One has multiple offices located in Staten Island and in Brooklyn.
One-on-One has been getting people back to living pain-free for almost 14 years.
The number one goal of One-on-One is to provide quality health care for our community and continue to strive to be the best in our field.
One-on-one physical therapy gets our clients back to work, back to play, and back to function as soon as possible. We help them reclaim their life.
Here at Tim Hortons, we know what mornings are all about. Bacon. Wake up to 6 strips of crispy bacon on a toasted everything bagel. The new Bacon Everything Bagel Sandwich. Great quality at a great value. It's all good at Tim Hortons.
Had to finish my sandwich. Mike at the head once again as we're back from the CSI Softball Complex. Top of the 7th about to get underway.
Yeah, and it was a 6th inning that both teams could feel good about, Joe. First, Lehman able to score 2 runs to take a 3-1 lead, but if you're Hunter, get a little bit of confidence from that run you've scored, so now it's Lehman's opportunity in the top of the 7th.
And the 1-0 pitch is popped up, and the play is made. That was Angelina Gill, who is retired for the first out.
Yeah, it was Gill who drove home the first run of the game for the Lightning in the 5th. She's now will go back to the dugout with 1 out.
Samantha Torres, the batter, squaring up and offers at that first pitch, swinging for strike 1.
Yeah, Torres 0 for 2, Joe. Popped to second, bunted back to third.
And the 0-1 is popped up in foul territory, and that's over the Lightning dugout.
Looking ahead to the bottom half of the 7th inning, 7, 8, and 9 scheduled. Dovasak, McClellan, and Riamondi for the Hawks, as they'll need at least 2 if they could retire Hunter or Lehman in the 7th.
The 0-2 pitch fouled straight back once again. Torres stays alive. College of Staten Island awaits the winner of this game. They'll get started about 30 minutes following the conclusion of this matchup. And Torres goes down swinging for the 2nd out.
Yeah, so a good start to the 7th for Gazone. She retires the first 2. And that'll bring up the center field, Stephanie Cruz, who's also 0 for 2, Joe, this afternoon.
Here comes the first pitch to Cruz, and she takes ball 1. It's been a poor effort for the Hawks at the plate in this game. Only 1 run on 3 hits and 3 runs on 6 hits right now. Enough for Lehman College, as that's taken for a called strike, but we spoke about it coming in, Mike. We thought that it would be the Lightning that really needed to get it done at the plate, and we didn't expect that Hunter would struggle so much against Diamond Villegas.
Yeah, and that run, of course, unearned on the 2-out error, so, you know, Hunter shouldn't even have had that run.
You're right, Mike, and right now, as it stands, Lehman College is 3 outs away from a huge upset as that's slapped over to the left side, and unable to make the diving stop was Salvador, and the throw from shortstop by Durso, not in time, and reaching with a 2-out base hit is Stephanie Cruz.
Yeah, and once that went past the diving Salvador, it was going to be a tough play for Dorso, but she didn't even give herself an opportunity as that throw went high. It's going to be scored a base hit, so Cruz will be on first base now with 2 outs, and Lehman will get the number 9 hitter, Guerrero, back in the lineup.
It will be Haley Davila.
Davila, I'm sorry.
In the designated player spot, came on for her first at bat, I believe, 2 innings ago, so she'll get her second plate appearance.
Yeah, she struck out, Joe, leading off the 6th.
So that was just in the last inning. My mistake, as she takes low for ball 2.
Yeah, and if she could somehow find her way on, Joe, that would bring up Miranda Diaz. So I wouldn't be surprised if she's taking a pitch here.
Undoubtedly a huge out for the Hawks to get. That's up high and taking a couple of steps off of first with Stephanie Cruz, but she retreats back safely.
Boy, if I'm Davila, I'm taking at least 2 here. Gazone hasn't been that close to the strike zone.
Here's the 3-0 pitch, and that's in for a called strike 1, and I think you're right. She'll probably take another one here, as certainly would love to get Miranda Diaz another at-bat, especially with a runner in scoring position and 2 on.
Yeah, Diaz already 2 for 3 with that long home run in the 6th, and she walked her.
That's down and away for ball 4, so Davila sprints over to first base despite drawing the walk, and that will indeed bring up Miranda Diaz.
That's not the base on balls, Joe, you're looking for in that situation when you have a pinch hitter who's up for the second time. It's a player you already struck out just an inning ago, and now you walk her and you allow the CUNYAC Player of the Year to come to bat. And if she gets into another one, Joe, she can really open up this game. And, if you're Hunter College and it looks like Lehman will have a pinch runner here, this is a big run out on second base, Joe.
Well, I don't see a number 18. Oh, it's Lisette Garrow entering, so designated player who started the game re-enters as I took a look at the reserves. So Garrow running for Davila, and it will be Miranda Diaz coming to bat. She didn't face Nicole Gazone, homered off of the starter, Caroline Bibula. Runner on second is Stephanie Cruz. The pinch runner over at first is Garrow. And into the box steps Miranda Diaz with a chance to break this game wide open in the way that the Hawks have swung the bats in this one. An extra base hit might be all the Lightning need to close the door on this game, as that misses up high for ball 1.
Yeah, and it's not like you could just pinch around her and load the bases. Diamond Villegas, of course, hit a monster home run in her last at-bat as well.
Diaz already with a pair of base hits in this game. One of those a home run, the other a bunt single. And she takes a called strike on the outer half, evening the count at 1.
Nice 1-0 pitch that time by Gazone.
One ball and 1 strike to count. Pitch on its way, and that's hit well out to left center field. And 2 Hawks converging on it, but it is Malloy who makes the catch from out in left field for the final out. So Miranda Diaz made a bid to extend the Lehman College lead, but heading into the bottom half of the 7th inning, our score remains the Lightning 3 and the Hawks 1. Hunter College with their last chance to keep their season alive when we come back.
No one ever won a race because it was their turn. And guzzling the right sports drink never won all 3 sets. You can't talk your way through a tournament, and luck doesn't last. Real champions know that it takes more to do more, because wanting it just isn't good enough. You've got to be smarter, faster, tougher. After all, if championships were easy, everybody would have one. City University of New York Athletic Conference. Learn, play, succeed.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. You're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw that coming. That will throw you off track. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Mom,
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for information on how to provide even better care for the person who wants to care of you.
And we are back from the CSI softball complex. Lehman College 3 outs away from pulling off the upset over Hunter College and advancing on to face the College of Staten Island in the CUNYAC softball championship finals.
And Joe, Lehman has not made the championship round since 2003 and has not won a CUNYAC championship since 1983.
It has indeed been a long time for the Lightning, and they face a tough task taking 2 games from a Dolphins team that did very well against them in the regular season. But, of course, the task at hand remains closing the door on Hunter, and Diamond Villegas back to the circle as taking a look at strike 2 is Alicia Dovasak, quickly behind in the count. Now 0-2.
Yeah, she walked and struck out, Joe, and like you mentioned, she's quickly down 0-2. The 3 toughest outs in softball. Let's see how Villegas could do it in the biggest moment for Lehman softball in quite some time.
Here's the 0-2, and that's upstairs. That runs the count to 1-2.
Yeah, she was looking to put a little bit extra on that one, Joe. Sailed it high.
We mentioned if Lehman could maintain their 3-run lead, you had to like their chances entering the 7th inning. Now 7, 8, 9 due up. You faced the big bats in the previous inning as that's popped up foul and over the Hawks dugout out of play. But going into the last inning at the plate for Hunter, it was 2, 3, and 4 due up. We're now at the bottom third of the order with 7, 8, and 9. So if the Hawks are able to get some base runners, they'll get some of those big bats one last opportunity to keep their season going. But if you're the Lightning, of course, you'd hope to avoid seeing that happen. Count 1 ball and 2 strikes on Alicia Dovasak. That's it sharply on the ground to short. Diaz bobbles the ball and loses the play. The sure-handed Miranda Diaz over at shortstop, perhaps succumbing to the late inning pressure. And you said it, Mike, the last 3 outs, the toughest to get.
Yeah, you know, Joe, this is a whole different animal, and, you know, that was an out that the Lightning really needed, a ground ball to your CUNYAC Player of the Year, and she commits an error. So if Lehman's going to do it, they're going to have to do it the hard way. Tough start to the inning and a couple of errors, Joe, in the last couple innings for the Lightning as the pressure gets higher.
Well, that's a tailor-made 6-3 putout as attempting to lay down a bunt there in the 7th inning, trailing by 2 runs was Annalise McClellan, and she came up empty.
And if you, sorry, Joe, if you'll remember, she bunted leading off the 5th with 2 strikes and struck out in the 5th.
That's the end of the line for my iPad, succumbing to the temperature out here as the 0-1 pitch misses down and in.
But in the at-bat before, Joe, she ripped that double down the left field line that put Hunter in business with 2nd and 3rd, 1 out in the 2nd when they could not score.
Count even at 1. That's grounded foul. Once again, Villegas 1 out away from, or I should say 1 strike away from picking up the first out of the inning.
Yeah, and she has 7 strikeouts already, Joe. And Hunter already given an extra out here in the 7th, so Villegas is going to need to get at least 4 outs here to retire the Hawks.
Here comes the 1-2 pitch. That's looked at up and away for ball 2. Runner on first is Dovasak. She reached on the error. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. That's Scott out to shallow left field. And coming in to make the play is Karen Rivera for the first out.
Yeah, you could hear Rivera call that one from here, Joe. A nice play, calling Diaz off, getting her out of the way, making the catch. Big first out there. And it's going to bring up Giovanni Riamandi. She's still looking for her first hit of the 2018 CUNYAC tournament.
And this would be a great time to pick up that base hit. She is the tying run at the plate. And she fouls the first pitch back.
Big strike 1 by Villegas.
I believe the scoreboard count should read 0-1. As that's popped up in foul ground, and Vernon makes the catch for the second out. So This game should be over, Mike, and the Lightning are now 1 out away from advancing to the CUNYAC Softball Championship Finals.
Yeah, but it's a big out, and it's going to be their shortstop, Jamie Dorso. Dorso is 0 for 3. She struck out twice, but then lined out hard to second. She's 0 for 3.
And laying down a bunt is Dorso. Throw to first by Vernon, sails over the head of the second baseman, Genesis Paulino. Going first to third is Dovasak, and I'm not sure that's a throw that should have been made, and I think Dorso took Lehman College by surprise there, and now the tying run stands over at first base.
Yeah, and Lehman keeps making it harder and harder on themselves, and we'll wait for the official scoring on that play. But, it was a beautiful bunt that time, an interesting decision by Dorso, but a good bunt. And Lehman couldn't make the play as they came in and threw the ball over the head of the second baseman covering. And now the Lightning, the Hunter Hawks have a runner at third base. Joe, that run means nothing. Hunter should not even Lehman should not even pay attention to it. Question is, what are you going to do with Dorso on first base? And it looks like Hunter was given a hit for Dorso, but again, another bad defensive play, and they're given an error, of course. That allows Dovasak to go to third. So now 3 errors, Joe, in the last few batters for the Lightning.
And will Dorso take off for second and try and get into scoring position? I'm not sure we can rule that out, even with 2 outs in the 7th inning. Of course, you don't want to make the final out on a caught stealing, and huge spot for Alana Veza. She's ahead in the count, 1-0. And that's hit sharply toward Diaz at short, and she makes the catch on a line for the final out of the game. And Mike, Lehman College has pulled off the upset, defeating the Hawks of Hunter College by a score of 3-1.
Boy, Joe, we say it all the time in every sport. You never know what's going to happen. You get into these one-and-done games, and you never know what could happen. And here you take it all the way to the 7th inning, and the Lightning commit a couple of errors, and you think that's going to be enough to open the door for Hunter College. But Diamond Villegas, boy, Joe, what a fantastic effort by her on the mound. She's pitched every inning for Lehman College here in this tournament. She drilled a home run to give the Lightning an insurance run. She picks up her 2nd win of the tournament, and what a job by Lehman College, advancing to the championship round for the first time since 2003.
Well, my iPad is no longer overheated, so once I'm able to get the live stats application up and running again, that may not happen, but I wanted to give you the final line for Diamond Villegas, well deserving of a victory in this game, and her team, the Lehman College Lightning, winning this one by a score of 3-1. And not only did Villegas pick up the win in this game and go the distance, she homered as well. Miranda Diaz also homered for Lehman College, and it was an all-around effort for the Lightning in this game. They did commit 3 errors, made some mistakes in the field. A couple of those may be the result of succumbing to some late-inning pressure, but ultimately they're able to hold on and pick up the 2-run victory over a heavily favored Hawks team. Hunter College will see their season come to a close, and Lehman College moves on to face the College of Staten Island in the softball championship.
Yeah, congratulations to Hunter for another great season, but what a great job by Lehman College. They have to be so excited, and, it's going to be tough for them. They're going to have to put Villegas back on the mound probably. But the Lightning will advance and play the Dolphins, Joe, as we get ready to go off the air for a few minutes and get you ready for an exciting championship game as the Dolphins look to win their 6th consecutive game. But can't say enough about the job that Lehman College did here this afternoon, Joe.
You're absolutely right, Mike. And, of course, we will be back on the air in approximately, I'd say about 20 minutes. This game, I think, is scheduled for a half hour following the conclusion of this one. It may be different here on the final day of this CUNY championship, but we'll be back with you about 15 minutes before first pitch. Dolphins and Lightning in the CUNYAC Softball Championship Final. Also, men's baseball should be getting underway at around 1 p.m. We'll have updates from baseball as well when we come back. Until then, this has been Joe Foreman and Mike Babuski calling the action for you live from behind home plate. Bobby Drake, of course, our engineer, deserves a lot of credit as well. When we come back, it is the Dolphins in the CUNYAC Championship against Lehman College. This has been exclusive NCAA Division III women's softball coverage on CUNY Championship Weekend here on CSI Sportsnet at csidolphins.com.